Sometimes people achieve certain levels of success and they think, oh, I've made it. And that mentality is so wrong. You should never think that you've made it. You should always think like a beast, always like the person who has nothing. When I first started, my first partners in the business was Cross Colors, which is a huge company back in the 90s. It's a Black-owned company, and they financed my company at the time. We became partners. In the first year together, we did $89 million in sales. This is back in 1992. My philosophy and Cross Colors' philosophy was a little bit different. People always want what they can't get. If you oversaturate your market with product, eventually it's going to play itself out. So Cross Colors took all the business. They had one account, which was Merry-Go-Round, which represented 90% of their business. Merry-Go-Round's business started to downfall, and they canceled all the orders on Cross Colors. They must have had like $50 million worth of production, which was just totally canceled. So now they had to sell off all this product. And that's what happens sometimes when you try to overproduce your product. It gets to be kind of tricky. I think you kind of get to the zone where you find success, and then you know now, like, okay, if you like this, now how deep do you want to get? Because, you know, I always hear stories about rappers and other people who achieve success and they just fall off, right? They were here, then you don't hear about them anymore. That was always my biggest fear. So I look at this thing as more like a marathon, not a sprint. 30 years later, we're still here. You don't find my brand in off-price stores or like a lot of off-price retailers because we don't produce that much product to oversaturate the market. And I think that's very important. So to have longevity in your brand, we never believed in that philosophy, and that's what keeps us here today. When we first started, we were the only thing on the block. So when we were hot, other companies started coming stealing our employees, offering them double, triple what we're paying them. So we started realizing how ruthless this game is. When those things are happening, we had to just find different horizons and you have to dig down deep and figure out what we're trying to do as a company. And I would love to say that we was the hottest brand out for 30 years. That's not the case. We were hot, we kind of leveled off here. So when things started not going so well here, we started thinking to open our minds up to different markets. So we started thinking about all these people that's buying our stuff in these countries, which we never visited before. We was like, okay, let's take a visit. We had no idea how big hip hop culture was in Europe. When we were coming up, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter. So today, it's easier to see what's going on all around the world. Back then, it didn't exist. But I knew we had to expand. I'm a very good listener. So we used to have accounts come to us from Australia, Japan, Germany, trying to buy our goods. And they used to give us small orders. We didn't really pay it any mind. There was this one guy from Amsterdam. He used to come give us 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 order. He kept saying, hey, I want to distribute your brand in Europe. I want to distribute your brand. We never paid him any mind. We didn't even know what he meant. One time he came in, he bought like $40,000 worth of stuff. And 2 weeks later, he came in and wanted more stuff. And at the time, in the United States, our business was kind of taking a hit. So listen to this one guy, we ended up signing a distribution deal with him. He ended up doing more business in Germany than we were doing here in the United States. This game is about evolution and about change. You gotta be on top of your game to really make this thing happen. There's one thing that money can't buy. It can't buy legacy and it can't buy history. It's all about your goals and your energy. People may say, well, it's not that easy. It is that easy. Don't worry about nothing else. If your goal is to get to a certain spot, nothing should stop you from getting there. Nothing, no family member, no girlfriend, no boyfriend, nothing. And you do it at your time, your dime. And that's the only way, in my opinion, that achieves the goals that we have for Karl Kani, is being locked in from day one. What's up, y'all? This is Karl Kani. To get a chance to win a mentorship with me, head over to Ian James' website for more details.